Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel Akash Thing again. And today we are going to continue our learning on the Python playlist where we are going to talk about print statement in deep. So we all have used print statement from our first or second class itself, and we have seen like how it works. It's very easy, and everyone or most people are. I don't think like anyone is not using print statement if they are working with Python, because that's the basic thing. And whenever you have to debug, whenever you have to understand what this code or functionality is doing, you just use the print statement and you get it done. So today we will try to understand, uh, is it just that much the print statement, or do we have to understand it better to use it and leverage it in an optimal way? So with that, let's get started here. And yeah, this is the intent that I will be trying to cover today. So first we'll understand what is this print function, what are different arguments that are there, what are the keywords, keyword arguments are there, and then next we will try to understand each of these arguments and keyword arguments one by one, and then we'll also try to go through the inline rewriting, which is one of the important term here, and then we'll see how we can print using different colors and different formats as well. So uh, with this, I think I will get started. Yeah. So here you can see when I write print statement here. So you can see I'm getting a lot many values here. So this is how like generally a function also works. So in a function, like whenever we define a function, right now we have not covered it, but we will be covering it soon. So in a function, what happens is like we pass two kinds of arguments. One is just the values, and second is like we will have key and value pair. So that combination will be there. So you can see here all the just the values are at the top, and then all the keywords and key value pair are at the bottom. So this is the general convention that it has to be in this manner. If you write the key value pair on the top and value in the end, so that will not work, it will throw error. So this is how it works. Now you can see what all the different arguments here. First is the objects, second is separators, third is end line, and fourth is file, and then fifth is plus. So honestly, I didn't knew all of these before, but slowly when I started using this print statement, slowly I learned it, and now I am using almost all the functionality, and it is really useful to know about this. It helps you like computationally as well as efficiently code. So that's where it's important. Now let's try to just use print statement at first, because some of you might be beginners and you might not be knowing. So let's try to use this. So to use that, we just need to write like print, and this will work. Print, and let's not try to pass anything in this, and then see what the outcome will. It throw error, or will it just return nothing? So you can see it has not returned anything. Nothing got printed. Now, if I want something to print on my screen, so I have to put some value here. Like next line is there, so I can write my name as well, or anything. Even I can try to insert an integer here, like 400 or 1000. And this is also getting printed. I can also print like the boolean, so it's also getting printed. I can also try to print some list, so it's also getting printed. So this is how the print statement is working. Now we can also assign our value into a variable name, and then we can try to print that. That is also possible. So same thing we are trying to do here. You can see it is printing my variable name. If I change it to 200, then it will print 200. So this is how it's working. Now next is like we can multiply the string inside the print statement so that it can print it multiple times. So if I remove this, what will happen? Let's see. It will just print 1 underscore. Now if I want to print 10 underscore, I can just multiply it by 10, and you can see there are 10 underscore. Similarly, if I want to uh, have plus here also, it can do that also. So this way you can do you can have my You can have a string as well, just the name, and you can do it. But if we put some integer, then it will like compute the square root or cube root. So it will just multiply it, not like that. So it will multiply and give me the output. So this is how it is working. So far it's clear, right? Now there is a special thing that is related to a string, which we will discuss more when we will cover string. But in print also we can pass string in this format, which is called like f a string. So it starts with f. What is the benefit of this is like we can define our variable on the top, and we can just use the variable name in my print statement so that it can be made dynamic. So that's what I'm trying to do here. So I have created my username Alex, and I am passing user here in the curly bracket. So this curly bracket tells that this is a variable name and it should be dynamic. It should not be a static value, just like user. So user, count, model, these will be static value. So this complete thing will be treated as a single string because it's having single start and end quote. And since f is at the beginning, so it will tell that there will be multiple variables getting passed. So this is clear. Now here you can see after accuracy we have 0.2f. So this is trying to round the figure. So accuracy you can see it's having around 5 decimal places. So it will round it to 2. And that is all. So now let's try to run this and see the output. So you can see it has rounded it and it has also taken the values. Now if I change it to, let's say, 10, and if I change this value to 960 and also the name to Akash, I don't have to change this F string and it will automatically fetch those updated details. So this is very useful, especially when we are using dynamic printing and whenever we want to test this we want to print out something while debugging or using a big function, and we want to see what is the value of this variable at that time. So this is really helpful. Now let's go and understand each of the arguments that are there. So if you remember, the first argument was the positional argument star objects. So what this star means that you can pass any number of argument, doesn't matter, it will be able to parse all of them, it will be able to understand each one of them. And the thing that this is doing internally, it's like it is trying to unwrap all these into a string, and then it is trying to stitch them together using a separator. Now, before going into this, let's try to understand about this keyword argument separator, because that is very useful there. So, what this separator is doing is like it is telling the print statement in Python, like how should you connect the values that are getting passed into you. So whether you should connect it using a line, using a number, or using a comma, or using a colon, or using a space. So that thing by default the behavior is like it is connecting by space. So whenever we pass multiple values separated by comma inside a print statement, so you can see like this is the one value Python's, this is the second value, this is the third value. And if I try to run this, it will give me space separated value. You can see there is a space in between, there is a space in between. It automatically created that. Even if I don't pass this a string, I just pass a number, then also it won't show an error, but it will convert this 40 into number and then it will return a space separated value. You can see. So this is a very good functionality of print statement. Now we can change the separator as well. So we can have a dash as a separator, we can have a new line as a separator, and we will see like there is slash r also that we use. We will go into that also. So first let's try to run this and see. So you can see it's returning 01, then dash, and then 01, then dash. Same if I try to read with this what we call is as a new line. So it will try to pass all these into three different lines. So first line will have apple, second line will have banana, third line will have cherry. Let's try to run it and see. You can see it. Now let's try to go back and understand this one. positional argument. So, uh, so far you understood, like we can pass n number of arguments inside. So that's why you can see this is the first argument, this is second, this is third, and this is the fourth. We can increase it as well. Let's say we have 400. Let's say we have 500. Let's say we have a string, and then n number we can do it. And let's try to print it. You can see it has printed all of them without any error. Even if I add some decimal values, it will print that also. So there is no limit on it, and we can add as many values and it will print all of them by stitching them together using uh, space. Now, let's say I'm passing these not directly but using a variable. So let's say this is a variable. I have created a list variable where you have like three values. So list is simple, like we just initiate it with this square bracket, and then we pass as many values as possible inside. So this is how a list works. We'll cover that in detail, but yeah, right now I think this is good. Then we try to print this. So what will happen when we just print this list? It will return this as well, like same, nothing will change. But when we try to use a static before this, it will try to unwrap this and then use a space as separator, which we just now saw. And in the third case, we can change the separator as well. So we have the steering, but we are changing the separator to this line. So instead of a space, we will have this line in between these three values. Let's try to execute and see. So you can see the first one is as it is, the second one is separated by a space, and the third one is separated by this line. Now, again, let's try to understand it more. So here we have like three variables, just like the one that we had here. Instead of direct values, we are passing multiple variables. So we have, let's say, three variables. Now, many people will think that this is a string and this is an integer, so it may fail and it may not parse it. So in that case, what we'll try to do is like they convert it into a string using this a string operation, and also here also, and then they try to run it. So this runs, no doubt, but this create additional memory in the backend, in the CPU. So whenever this print statement is getting executed, first it's try to create all these string in the memory. So this is also getting created in the memory, and similarly all of these. And then it try to parse that, and then it try to print it. So indirectly, it is creating multiple kind of this string. And especially when we are working with data science models and we are trying to retrain or train a model for millions of epochs. So at that time, it creates unnecessary load on the cache or the on the computer's memory, and it's slowing down the heavy loads. So generally, it's recommended to directly use these values instead of parsing it as a string, because this is working without a string also. So why we need a string, right? You can see it's still working. So this is one of the important lesson that we should take, and whenever we are using it, we should try to use it directly. And again, you can test it for multiple iterations, and you will see there is a time efficiency with this. Now let's try to again use the same thing for a matrix. So this is a 3 by 3 matrix. So three values in the list, and then there are three lists. So 3 by 3 matrix, you can say confusion matrix, and we are trying to print it. So first we will just print the row. We are using a for loop to go through each of the item inside this matrix, and we'll print. So let's see what is happening. So you can see we are getting the exact values, just like the one that we have seen above. Now instead of this, if we try to use the asterisk and a separator as tab, So this is represents tab separator. And then we try to run it. You will see the difference. So each of these values are separated by a tab. Now, if you are familiar with function, then this is how we declare function. So this is my function name, and this is the thing that we are returning. So you can see we are returning three different output. One is mean, other is standard deviation, and third is variance. So all these are separated by a comma. So there are three values we are returning. Now, when we will call this function, it will return all these three values, but they will be in a tuple format. They won't be separated by a space. So you will see like this is the value we are getting. But instead of this, let's keep it active and let's try to use a separator as well as a steering before it and then see the output. You can see the this bracket will be removed, gone in that case. See, all of these are treated independently as a string and then they are joined using this space. So hope you understood this positional argument star object meaning and how we can use it in different ways. And then let's go to the keyword argument. So the first one is separator we already covered. Now the end of the line, this is the second keyword argument. So what this means is like how print should end the statement. Generally by default, it is having a new line at the end. So this is what is new line. And this means that automatically when you print hello, it will shift the cursor to the next line. And whatever the next print statement will run, it will print from the next line, not from the current line. So let's try to run this. You can see hello got the first line and world got the second line. Now, if we try to change the end using this end separator, so instead of new line, I have kept it like a space, then it will start with a space on the same line. See. We can also change it to tab. Let's say you can see the tab got there. We can change it to anything. Let's say 000. Let's see. You can see. So this is how it works. And now this is the same thing, but with a different like value for the end. Now there is a slash r also. This is very important. That's why I've explicitly covered it. So what this end is doing, if you go through this, what I have mentioned, is like it moves the blinking text cursor back to the column 0. That means, let me just explain it. So for example, this is my print cell. So let's say I printed Akash, A-K-S-H, A-A-A-S-H. Now it saw this slash r. What it will do, instead of the cursor from here, it will move it to this place again. And whatever next value I'm going to print, like boy, B-O-Y, it will write from this. It will go in this box, this will go in this box, this will go in this box. So this will be replaced. And this will be kept as it is. So this is how it will try to overwrite the current value. And think of it as a like typewriter. So in typewriter, unless until you shift the lever, the cylinder will not scroll and you keep writing in the same line. So this is how like it is writing in the same line unless you shift it. Now there is a trap. The trap is like you can see when I have lesser words, it kept the previous word, which I didn't want, right? Generally. So for a longer word, like if I write a student, there won't be any problem. It will fill all the values with new values. But if we write a shorter word, in that case, it will show me the older words. So this is the problem with this, and we have to be very careful with using this slash r. Now, where it can be found very useful, it is very useful for epoch or training because we want to see the progress. Let's say we want to see the progress 0, 1, 2, 3 till 100. so that we can understand, okay, my progress has improved. Now you can't keep printing multiple times, right? Okay, 0 is done, then 0, and then 1 is done. The next line, okay, 0 is done, 1 is done, 2 is done, and then this. So this way you can keep on like having multiple lines. So instead of multiple lines, we can use this function here and we can have everything getting updated in the same line, right? So this is the best use case, and this is where like it's getting used in industry and everyone is using this. So again, there is an alternative also, TQDM library we try to use for loop, where we try to override the same thing. But if you are a like if you know already about Python and you know about this print statement in detail, then why to use another library? Why to complicate the things? Why to increase the memory? And like you understand, like if it is already by default there, why to use something else? And they might be using the same thing, right? So instead of like if I want to go from Patna to Delhi, I will go directly to Delhi. Why will I go to Mumbai and then go to Delhi? That's the thing. Now, if we try to see it here, how it works. So I've just written the example. So I'm importing the time. So time is nothing. It is like letting my kernel, or like letting my this cursor to sleep for zero point 0.5 seconds so that I can visually see the change. Without it, I won't be able to see what is happening. It will happen instantaneously and I won't be able to recognize that. So for that, I have kept the sleep statement. And then here I am trying to uh, print the range of values. So what this range is like, it will print 0, then it will print 20, then 40, then 60, then 80, and then 100. So this is how it will print. So I'm just storing it in percent, and this percent is getting used here. And in the end, we have this slash r, and then flush is also I have kept true. So we'll learn about flush and then we'll talk about it. But it generally try to say that throw the output as soon as you get it. You don't have to wait for the complete thing to run and then you have to throw. It's not like that. You just see what the thing is coming up in the printer statement and just show it in the output. So now let's try to run this and see what is happening. Yeah. So you can see the cursor, it is moving, right? From 0 to 100. Let's try to rerun. See, 0, 20, 40, 60, 80, and 100. It didn't shift it to a new line. But if I remove this and then run it again, you will see multiple lines getting created. So that's the benefit of using this. Now, the trap thing that I talked, let's see that visually. So if I want to print like from 9 to 0, that means like 9 will be repeated 9 times, then 8 will be repeated 8 times. So that way I'm trying to do this print statement using the f string that we already covered. And in the end, we have this end separator ending line with this slash r, and then plus also true, and then sleep. So let's try to see what will happen. So you can see this is what it's happening. If I just remove this, you can see this is how like 9 is repeated 9 times, 8 is repeated 8 times, that way. Now, if I add it back the end, then you will see it's overwriting, but the end thing is not changing. See, the last one is 1, so it should have replaced everything, right? It should have just kept 1%. But this is not happening because the values are lower than the previous one. Earlier we had 10 counts, then now we have just 1 count. So to get rid of that, we should be using this particular statement. Like we add extra spaces in the end so that it can remove those extra values that we are getting. But we have to be sure like how much extra space we need to add so that it can fix the issue. So let's try to run this and you will see. See, now you are seeing that there is the earlier data is not getting reflected because it's replaced by the space. You can see I'm able to select the space as well. So hope this is clear now, the use of slash r and the plus. Now let's try to understand file, which is our fourth argument. You can see here the fourth argument file, which is sys.standout. Generally, by default, it is sys.standout, which means like it will print everything in the screen directly or in the uh, terminal directly. So that's why we like whenever we run this print statement, let's see, let's try to run the same thing here. See, it is showing it here. But this is not just one thing that we can do in print statement. We can write it to a file also. That's what we are trying to say here. So we have this file and we can pass the f. F is nothing but we initialized our, like we created a file output.txt. We opened it in the write format. This is W, R means read format, W means write format. And we have kept that inside this F variable and we are using that F variable here so that this text can be written in this F variable directly. Let's try to run and see. You can see this output file got created. If you haven't seen it, let me rename this. Let's rename it output one and see. See, the output one got created and it is having this value. So I hope most of you might not be aware about this functionality of Python and you got to know about this for the first time. And if you know, then that's good. Now let's understand about the flush, which is one of the important concept, but it is that not that much useful in Jupyter Notebook or in VS Code because all of these editors are already like compatible and they try to throw the output as soon as they receive it. But flush mainly means like it forces the Python to clear the buffer and display the text instantly. Matlab, whenever we are getting any value, plus equal to true will force that value in the output screen instead of waiting for complete thing to run. Now let's try to run this code here that we have. So what this tell is we are importing two different libraries here. Time and system is mainly for system related configuration. And then we are having a print statement to show like without plus and with plus content. And in both of them, we have this for loop for I in range 10, which means like from 0 to 9, it will go. Then it will try to print this and separated by this. So it will not move to a new line. It will keep on printing in the same line. No new line. Data sits in the memory buffer. Now it will sleep for zero point 0.5 second and then it will print done once the loop is completed. So basically it will print 10 dots here. And here also it will print 10 dots, but here we have added this plus. So the difference will be like here once all the 10 dots are like created or complete loop is done, then only it will print that. But in this, it will keep on printing one by one. Let's try to run this and see. You won't see the difference here. You will see like one by one only, without and with also. See, this difference is not visible here, but when we try to run it using CMD, then we will see that. Let's navigate to this folder, cd downloads, cd python. Now we have this file here, print plus. So I have pasted the same code and let's try to run this. Python print plus. See now, nothing got printed. We are waiting. Everything got printed at once. But in the bottom case, things are getting printed one by one. Hope I'm clear what I was trying to explain. Now I have one more code here. Let's try to run that also. So what this is doing? So this is nothing, but this is a little advanced concept on top of it. Even if you are not able to understand, it's fine, but it's good to know. That's why I'm sharing it. So what is happening is like generally in this Python or any ASCII character, which is like alphabets or numerics, they are of 1 byte per character. So one character will consume 1 byte, and some overhead is here. So for example, if I have 4047 character, that means around 4000 bytes, which is around 4 KB of space it will occupy, around 4000 characters or more than that, right? 4 KB space will occupy. Now, here I am trying to do what? I am trying to print this 20 times, and the character is like I have multiplied it by 1000 here. Okay, rest all is same. End with this, and then sleep is this. In the second one, I have multiplied it with 1000, but I have also kept it plus equal to true. So what we have seen, like without plus, it will print everything at once, right? But this will not happen in this case. However, the same will apply here. It will keep on printing one by one for each of the 20 iteration. But in this case, it will not print after completion of 20 iteration, but it will print after this 4000 byte or 4 KB of memory is consumed. So here, like you can see, there is like around even if I remove this, doesn't matter. That will help me in identifying. So that let's just keep it. It will help me in understand like where is the separator, nothing else. So for example, here is it's around 1000 KB, 1000 bytes, that is around 1 KB. And once it run for 4 times, it will reach that limit, or at least 5 times, then it will reach that 4 KB limit. So it will try to print at that time. Then again it will store for 4 KB, and then again it will try to print. So after every 4 or 5 iteration, it will try to print. It will not happen like it will print in the end only. Let's try to check that here. Let's run the same command again. See, it is waiting unless that 4 KB is full. So this is much is full. Now it will wait again, and then it will print again. See, then again. But in this case, the plus case, you are seeing only one by one it is getting printed. So this is what I wanted to show, that with plus it will come as usual. Like for every iteration, it will keep printing. But without plus, it will try to store as much value as much it's possible for it. And once it goes out of that, then it will print. It's not like it will keep storing infinite. So hope this plus concept is clear. I hope you got it. Now there is a, like, since you have watched the video for so long, so there is a bonus tips that I wanted to say, and this is related to the printing with color and ANSI escape code. So again, this is nothing but we can also print using different format, different color, with underlines, without underlines, with different kind of uh, basically pattern in the print statement, which I don't think most people know also. For that, we need this code structure. So this is the overall structure in which we need to pass. So here you can see this is the structure, which says, the formula says the value should start with 033, which is like tells the system that the value that you will be getting is not the text that you have to print, but it's the internal formatting that is getting passed. So this is the internal formatting command, not the literal print statement. So this is what that one. Then we have this underscore. So this underscore tells that start of the configuration parameter, whatever parameter that we need to pass. The first is a style, second is color, third is background. So these three things we can control. Style is like what should be the style in which this letter will be written, whether it should be underscore or bold or italic. So that thing. Then there is color. So whether it should be black, red, or white, so that. And then backgrounds. What should be the background color? And again, it's not necessary to pass all of them. We can pass uh, whichever needed, and each of them have different codes, so they don't like depend on each other. And in the end, we have M. So this M is the terminator. So this dash is the starter, and this M is the terminator. And after this, we can write our text which I want to print. And after that, also you need to end it with 033 code so that it understand that okay, this is where I have to end, and this is telling me to reset the switch. That you'd work as usual. So that's the same thing I try to explain it here. So I will try to share this notebook on the GitHub, and you can refer it at any time. And yeah, let's try to now see working of this. So for example, here you can see again the different configurations I have tried to pass. The first one is like it will have this one as the style. Second will also have the same style. Third style and fourth style will be different. Similarly, the color for first and second will be same. Third and fourth will be different. Again, this fourth one is not having any color. It will take the usual color, but it is having just the background color 41. For these two, the background color is same, and this the background color is different. Now this is the message it will pass, and this is the message this will pass. Again, let's try to see what is coming up. So again, here I wanted to say that this statement will be in this format, and rest of the statement whichever I want to pass in normal color, like however print works usually. So that color we can write it after this code ends. So let's try to run this and see. You can see the first one all is formatted. In the second one only the critical error is formatted with a red color because the color is same. This is what 3131. And then the third one again you can see success, and the color is changed, and the background we have changed for the last one which is 41. So you can see, and the first one background is also different. And then rest of the things are as usual. Now there is a possibility that someone so this is like example of like if we don't pass some of the parameters. So we have three different values, different parameters configuration. If we don't pass them, then will it work or not? So it will automatically identifies each one of them. As I already mentioned, they are independent of each other, and it is working. Now the thing that I wanted to highlight here is the disaster of forgetting the reset switch. So someone might have started this switch, but he failed to end this switch. So what will happen in that case? So the format will continue unless that end switch will come. So here it is coming. So what will happen from this place till this place, all will be written in the same format. Let's try to run and see. See, the first and second line in the same format unless it is reset. Similarly for this also. And then this reset can come in the beginning as well, in the end as well, in the middle as well, no problem. Anywhere it can come. So again, where it can be used, of course, it can be used for logging, and whenever we want to debug the code at that time, logging. If we are printing a lot of print statement, how we will figure out which is the important print statement, which is related to warnings or critical or info, like that kind of situation. It helps. Again, we have logging library already from Python. We can use that, but this is something that is default present in the print statement as well. So with that, I think you came to know a lot of things about print statement, and I know the video got a little lengthy, but yeah, I tried to cover as many concepts as possible. So hope you like the video. So but let's revise what we have covered. The first, the basic print statement. Then we try to understand the different arguments there, the argument types, whether it's just values or keyword argument is there. And then what are the different keyword arguments, what's their functionality. We went deep into this end separator slash r, and we try to use it with flash and try to understand the difference. And then we also try to see the ANSI escape code for coloring in the print statement. So hope you learned a lot, and yeah, it took me a lot of effort to prepare for it as well. So yeah, with that, I would like you to support me, and yeah, uh, like, subscribe, share, and thank you very much. Bye.